up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match analysis from the match yesterday between Barcelona and Inter Milan, where Barcelona absolutely choked it and are now gonna be going into the Europa League. To be honest, this won't be an analysis. What I'm going to do is react to the post-match press conference of Xavi and two other players, then go on a bit of a rant. That's going to be it. To be honest, I got no time and I have no courage and no need to analyze that absolute crap from yesterday. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with a reminder of the starting lineup from last night. It was Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Roberto, Pique, Garcia, Alonso, midfield three of Busquets, Xavi, and Pedri, and a front three of Dembele, Lewandowski, and Raphinha, with Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, Kessie, De Jong, and Balde coming off the bench. Let's now get into the post-match press conference of the first player out of the two, which is Eric Garcia. I want to just say this firstly. He's come out a lot speaking to the media after matches, and I want to give him credit for that. That for me shows a true leader. You know, he's one of the youngsters in the team on paper, but he comes out and speaks after the match every single time, so credit to him. Let's see what he had to say. He only said a few words, to be honest. He came out saying that as long as we're still a glimmer of hope, we're going to keep going. Our goal is to win the remaining matches, and then we'll see. Today we had a great opportunity, and we did not take advantage of it. So that's him manning up, saying that, look, we went out there, we did not perform, or we did not really get the result that we wanted. We're going to keep going and stay positive, but again, that's just the player answer. Of course, he probably feels like we're screwed. We played like crap. We bottled it. That's how he feels. But on paper and out loud, he's going to say something different. But I just want to give Eric Garcia some credit. He came out and spoke to the media when the other players didn't. The next and final player is actually the captain of the first team, Sergio Busquets. I'm quite surprised he came and spoke to the media after that match. And to be honest, he said some big quotes. So let's get and see what he had to say. He came out saying the first goal from them affected us a lot. It seems that when we concede a goal, everything is in chaos. You're not wrong. In the Champions League, everything goes wrong when you're not convincing. We haven't been lucky in the games when we deserve more. It's a disappointment, and even more so after all the work that we put into the match. This group was difficult, but we had to aspire for much more. And he also was asked whether or not this match will affect the team's performance in the clasico, and he said, of course. You absolute freaking waste man. Who the hell comes out and says that before a clasico? Whether you like it or not, the clasico is bigger than this match, and you came out saying that this match is going to affect our performance in there. This is just another cop out from the captains. What happened a week ago when we had the General Assembly? They didn't want to take a salary reduction. Laporta points at Busquets and Pique. It comes on the media. Oh, Busquets is not like that. He's really disappointed he came out with that before a big match against Inter. It's all a cop out now. I think Busquets, honestly, I've been very generous with him over the past year or so, but this match really opened my eyes to Busquets not necessarily being crap like Pique and Roberto and Jordi Alba, but more so that he cannot compete at the top level anymore. For me, it's over for him, and I think, to be honest, we're looking at his exit. But, you know, I'll give him credit. He came out, spoke to the media, but he came out speaking absolute crap. He also came out saying that, oh, with the signs we made, we should have done more or something like that. Like, mate, do what take some pointers from Eric Garcia. You don't come out after the match saying that, oh, this might affect us for the clasico. He may not perform. We're going to be emotionally deteriorated. Who the hell says that? You might want to think that internally, sure, but you don't say that in the face of the media. Anyways, Busquets came out and talked, credit to him, but came out chatting absolute crap. Time now to get into Xavi's post-match press conference reaction. It was very long after, you know, a big game like this, and of course, he's the manager and he sets up the teams and the tactics, and his opinion matters the most. Let's get and see what he had to say after this match. He came out saying, this Champions League is being cruel to us, but in the second half we made a lot of mistakes. The first goal was a clear mistake by the defensive line, and we within the dressing room had talked about it. Football is a game of mistakes, and it's about minimizing them. Today we've made serious mistakes, and that have cost us. To be fair, he's not wrong. Of course, the first goal, Pique, Kukulen. Second goal, Eric Garcia miskicked the ball twice. Third goal, counterattack. It was like a 3v1. It is what it is in that aspect, of course. People saw that we played with our heart, but we failed. In Munich, it was our effectiveness. In Milan, it was other circumstances. And today, it was our mistakes. The Champions League is very complicated. We have to change our mindset for La Liga. again, he's not wrong. Munich, we weren't clinical. Inter Milan, we weren't effective. And then in this match, we made mistakes. We haven't had the perfect game yet. We had to think about the clasico now. The Champions League has become more complicated. It is a big shame. If you don't beat Inter at home, you don't deserve to stay in this competition. Absolutely spot on. The first half was excellent, but the second half was not. We made a lot of mistakes. There are mistakes that cannot be allowed to be made at the top level of football. That's a shot at Pique right there for sure. Look, again, he's right. I wouldn't say the first half was excellent, but it was good. Again, it was the hype, the momentum. You could go look at me in the live stream. I was freaking gassed up. The stadium is full. They're all singing the songs. How could the first half not be excellent? That's the reality. The game against Bayern Munich was very good. In Milan, it was good enough. Today, the first half was excellent. But when you can see so much in the Champions League, these things happen. Again, no clean sheet for Barcelona in the Champions League. It's a hard blow, but now we have to recover and beat Real Madrid. When the players fail, I take full responsibility. We are a group. If the defense fails, I fail too. You, the media, are the one who blame players. All of us as a group take responsibility for our mistake. Now, of course, this is asking about BK's mistakes. I think Javi Miguel came out after the match saying that, look, Eric Garcia played well. He did make one mistake, but it was his partner that was the worst of the center back partnership. So he was asked about in the media as well about Pique's performances. Look, when one player plays bad, it's everyone's fault. Last season, we didn't have enough to compete, but this season we did. This time, it was our mistake. That, for me, was a big quote. Because, of course, last season we could not compete. We had, Yusuf Demir and, Dest was playing on the wings. It was brutal. We could not compete. Now we can compete, and we bottle it. As a culé, I am sad, and I'm also angry. I'm very disappointed, sad, and frustrated. I'm angry, and I have to be self-critical. We do not deserve to play in the Champions League. It hurts me, but this is the truth. Today, the match is under control, and in the 50th minute, there was a clear defensive mistake. You go back to the drawing board, and you have to start again. What would it cost you? Mentally, it's hard for us. This, for me, is him building up us getting battered by Real Madrid this weekend. He keeps on saying mentally, oh, recover, blah, blah, blah. I feel like we're going to go to that clasico and we're just going to crumble, man. That's my really worry at the moment. This year in Europe, we failed to minimize our mistakes. Today, we did a lot of things in the first half, and in the game, we were very good in the first half. But again, in the second half, we made a lot of mistakes, and that killed us. We don't deserve to continue in the Champions League this season, and we have to reduce mistakes, whether for effectiveness or for other reasons. Again, Xavi's trying to highlight, look, we did not play badly. We made a few mistakes, and those mistakes have cost us. If you think about it, if we didn't go all out attack on the counter attack, we wouldn't have conceded that third goal. Second goal, Pique, if Eric Garcia kicked it, we wouldn't have conceded. First goal, Pique would just, open his eyes a bit and realize that his defensive line was way in front of him, wouldn't have conceded, right? They're all fine margins, and that's the reality of it. He then asked about Ousmane Dembele and him being very bad at decision making. He came out saying that, look, Dembele can make a difference. He's a player who can make a difference. He gives a lot on the wings. He's fast, and he also has a lot of confidence, and I give that to him. But Dembele often does make the wrong choice, but it's not just him. When we get in the final third, we have to make better decisions, and that's very difficult for Dembele. So Xavi is saying, look, the player is good, right? He's fast, he's got pace, he can dribble well, shooting a bit suspect, but when it comes to making that decision in the final third, he ain't good. How about you improve on that then? We knew about this since 2019 when the man flopped a Busquets to PK against Liverpool. This is not something new. We see it all the time. That open pass for Ansu Fati, man. I don't remember what the score is, but my goddamn boost. He then asked about Inter time wasting. He said, look, it's not an excuse for today. We didn't draw because of that. We drew because of our mistakes, because of the game was in our hands. So Xavi taking full credit there, and I respect that. I think that's a good answer. Of course, Onana probably wasted 15 minutes just alone by himself. Every time Inter got fouled, they would go down for an hour. So I think Xavi has the right answer there. Let's hope that today's game does not affect us with the clasico in terms of mentality. The players have given their all today. Given their all, my arse. Once they scored 2-1, they capitulated. Yeah, Lewandowski. I think the two Lewandowski goals are both individual brilliance. The first one, lucky deflection. Second one, we're freaking cross and inshallah. Cross galore. One of them we're about to connect with Lewandowski. He's going to put it in. So I think they gave it their all in the first half for sure. I saw the fight, I saw the mentality, but second half, I think 2-1 after Lautaro Martinez scored, a lot of head drops. The goal for this season is still the same, to win trophies, and I think Xavi's right there. Look, is this season a failure if we win La Liga? No. If this season is a failure if we win the Copa and the Super Cup? No. So there's still a lot to salvage. I know it kind of feels like, in my opinion, oh, we're at the end of the season now, we just choked against Inter Milan, but I said in the live stream as well, this feels like a quarterfinal or semi-final of the Champions League, when in reality, we're only in the 4th match of the group stages, so still a long way to go in the season. I apologize to the fans because we made the mistake and we sent our minds out not to fail, and we have failed, so we have to apologize to the fans who have been wonderful. Today, I want to tell the fans that we will work hard to turn the situation around and hopefully win titles by the end of the season. Let's hope you're damn right, because I tell you what, Xavi, your head is on the line if I don't see armpits this season. If we don't win at least 2, you can win 1, you can win La Liga, but if we don't win at least 1 trophy this season out of the 3 remaining, his head is going to be coming. So that was Xavi's post-match press conference reaction. Overall, I think he answered the questions very well. He was very honest, and then he took full responsibility. He said, now look, we have to focus. El Clasico coming up, and we can't let our head drop, and we have to go out there and try to get 3 points to stay top of La Liga. So after the match, there were a lot of rumors about Barcelona competing, of course, in the Champions League, more specifically financially. As we all know, the club set a goal of at least reaching the quarterfinals of the Champions League to balance the books and expect money coming in. That way, they don't have to expect money from elsewhere. Mundo Deportivo came out saying after the match that Barcelona will now lose at more than 20 million euros on the budget income if they don't qualify for the Champions League knockout stages. Not quarterfinals, just the knockout stages. Not even winning the Europa League would cover that up, and that is the problem. I tweeted this last night. Wallahi, I swear to God, I would rather finish 4th than go in the Europa League. Because what's the damn point? You're gonna get extra games, extra game time. You're gonna go Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday every single week. And then what happens in the first round? We'll get probably Juventus or some other team coming in the Champions League. Then you go to another team, and of course you have Arsenal and Man United who have big ambitions to win the trophy. It's not going to be easy, and it's a Mickey Mouse trophy, and it's a waste of time in my opinion. Now, along with this, there are also reports coming out about a big bust up in the dressing room after the match. Apparently, Joan Laporta is furious with Xavi, and Xavi is furious with some of the players. Hopefully, it's the captains, and the players are furious with everyone. It was a very complicated and tense situation in the dressing room after the match. Now, look, we all expected this to happen, right? I mean, the conclusion of the what's gonna happen in the dressing room, and I think you can see it as 2 ways: a positive and a negative. A negative being, there's no chemistry, everyone's mad at each other, but a positive saying that, look, they clearly identified that there is a problem, which I think is a good thing. But look, the big talking point around this match is, of course, about the performances of the captains. Firstly, I want to say that if you're Xavi out, you're absolutely deluded. Nothing will change at this club if you just keep sacking managers, buy Setien, buy Valverde, buy Koeman, buy Barjuan, blah, blah, blah. Keep sacking, ain't nothing gonna change. Yes, I'm aware that Tuchel is available, but he's gonna come in. Let's say we sack Xavi. He's gonna come in, Busquets will still be here, Pique will still be here. I saw a stat saying that when we faced Inter Milan in 2010 in that big semi-final in the Champions League where we got robbed, Pique and Busquets were starting that match. 12 years later, they're still here. This is the reality. We now have to move on from the captains. For me, I would always saying, get rid of Pique, Alba, and Roberto. But with Busquets, I thought he was useful. But this match opened my eyes about Busi. Like, yeah, he can do it against a pub team, but big games, home or away, he can't do it. I think top 10 in La Liga and Champions League, Busquets ain't at that level. Against the lower teams at home, he can do it. Away, maybe as well. If you go Real Mallorca away or Osasuna or something like that, I think he can still do a job. But again, Xavi cannot be the first one to get called out. Yes, he made a mistake in the lineup starting Alonso, which I think is absolutely detrimental to him, and that's ruining his reputation a lot. The fact that he wanted to sign Alonso, and that is absolutely crap. And that when Alejandro Balde came on in his 20 minutes, he was head and shoulders better than Alonso in his 70 minutes. We look so much of a better team with Balde at left back, and also with Ansu Fati at left wing as well than Dembele on the right. I think Raphinha had some good moments in the game, but I would still look at favoring Ansu Fati over Raphinha. I know he was frustrated when he got subbed off, throwing his shirt. I like that fight in the player, but look, you've had your time. The season started 2 months ago, August 12th. He's been a starter. He's been in the Gala 11. You had your chance. You've had 1 goal and a couple of assists. 60 million ain't gonna cover it. I think now is the time for Ansu Fati to come in, if of course he is fit or not. And that's the main problem about Xavi, because of course we saw this in the first match against Inter. Balde came on, Ansu came on, we looked better, we looked fresher, we were getting some chances, and Xavi makes the same mistake again. And I see the fan base on Twitter, I see it on Instagram, I see it on my Discord, I see it everywhere, everyone's starting to doubt and question Xavi. And now it's Xavi's time to rectify that. I think his clasico lineup is going to be huge. Because look, this is the reality. If he picks, Casado right back, Riyad Chadi at center back, and then we lose 6-0 to Real Madrid, what's going to happen then? Oh, Gerard Pique, blah, 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 experience. So either way, you could say it's a lose for Xavi. But I would rather see a strong and ambitious lineup without the captains in the Clasico than him put them in. If he starts Pique and Alonso at left back, he puts him at center back, different story. If he starts Pique and Alonso, I think a lot of the fans will turn against him. Whether it's the local ones, the socials, or the online ones, a lot of fans will turn on him. And if on top of that, if we lose as well. Look, this game is behind us now. We got to move on. We've dropped points. We're going to be going to Europa League, which is very unfortunate. Thursday draws, Thursday game. It's going to be freaking brutal, of course, round 32. Coming up against big teams, and it's not good, of course. Back-to-back Europa League campaigns. I thought last year was going to be, one only time. We're back at it again, especially with this after the signings that we had this summer. Speaking of the signings, I still cannot wrap my head around how crap Barcelona are without our defenders. Again, Bellerin out, Kounde out, Araujo out. I guarantee you, if you have Kounde and Araujo instead of Eric Garcia and Pique, the outcome is different. If you had even Kounde and Eric Garcia, the outcome would be different. If you had Andreas Christensen and Eric Garcia, I think the outcome would have been different. And it's just so frustrating to see how much the international break really just bent us over, man. Like, oh my god. Imagine we had Memphis off the bench. I think Memphis off the bench can be a great asset, especially in a low block like we have. Of course, he talked about it in his interview before the international break, saying that, I thrive in the last 20 minutes when there's space starts to open up, players get tired, that's my opportunity. I think in those aspects, Memphis Depay can be a great asset off the bench. He's injured. Yeah, Bellerin, who of course played a couple of games, was okay, but he's more of a natural right back than Roberto. I'm not saying Roberto played bad in this match, but I think defensively, again, he's still a liability. Look, it's even with Eric Garcia. I think Eric Garcia, his passing, his controlling of the game, him reading the game offside traps, I think he played well yesterday, apart from his mistake for the goal. I think even Javi Miguel, I mentioned that in the Xavi's post-match press conference, Javi Miguel came out saying that Eric Garcia played well, he made one mistake, but the reality is that his center back partner was miles worse than him. And I tell you what, the media and the fans are killing Pique at the moment. I think this might force him to retire. If he is a Barcelona player next season, I will have very, very low hopes. Not even just Pique. If Busquets somehow stays, Roberto gets an extension because Xavi absolutely loves him, Jordi Alba cannot get a move out or stays. The captains have to be the first ones to move now. I would rather get rid of all four of them today than sack Xavi. End the season, let's say we go trophy list. First thing I'm doing is getting rid of all four of them, because we have to have a season with all four of them. Without them, we can't just keep recycling them. They're like a wet towel. We squeeze all the water out of them. They are finished. Now you're squeezing it. You're not getting nothing. You gotta put the towel back in the bucket and restart again. And that's the reality. Look, I love all of them. They're all legends of the club in different ways, of course, some bigger than others. But their time is up. And I honestly believe at the moment they are ruining their legacy. They're performing crap on the pitch and they're not helping us financially as well. The fact that Laporta is kind of attacking them in the media with them saying that they didn't want to take a wage cut, so that's why we had to pay for Kounde's registration. I'll talk about tomorrow in the news video. They're starting to attack them now, so I think this is Laporta really pushing for the exit of the captain, so to speak, and I think it's time now. Look, nothing is changing with them. Of course, they're legends of the club, but they have to be the first ones to move on. If Xavi, God forbid, gets sacked before the captains leave, I think this football club is finished. I trust in Laporta, because you know what? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I know for a fact that Laporta, once he makes one mistake, he won't make that mistake again. Look at the stadium today, full of Barcelona fans. Not a single Inter fan that was not in the away section in the home crowd. He found his mistake against Eintracht Frankfurt, and he rectified it. Also, shout out to the fans. My God, for a group stage match, you see how rallied up they got. 92,000. I think 200 and something. I think there's only 2,000 NPCs, so those were 2,000 season ticket holders that didn't go to the match. Shout out to the fans. They showed up. Against Frankfurt last year, the players didn't really show up and the fans did not whatsoever, but this time the fans learned from their mistake. They showed up. The players kind of did, but then choked once one big thing happened. And that's the thing that pisses me off the most. We see comebacks against PSG 6-1. We've seen other comebacks before. We know the club is capable of this. But just recently, man, just every time we concede first, we're done. Clip this right now. If we concede against Madrid first in the Clasico this weekend, we're on toast. We're holding 2, we're holding 3-0. Because every time we concede first, head drops and we play like crap. Yeah, we can make a comeback against Celta Vigo at home or Elche or whoever it may be. But against the top teams, once they score first, we are toast. Look at Bayern Munich this season. Look at Inter twice. It's the reality. Am I saying it's the captain's fault? No, but they have to be the first ones to go. Maybe because the mentality is over, their tactics are out of date. I saw Dembele giving Busquets instructions in the behind-the-scene videos of some TV outlet. Dembele giving Busquets instructions. They're gone. They're finished, and they had to be the first one out. I think that's the main thing we learned from this match. The captains can no longer compete at the highest level. Jordi Alba can't even get on the pitch. Roberto can get an assist. I think Roberto going forward is still good, but defensively, huge liability. Pique is just finished in every single way, shape, or form. Busquets can do it against lower teams, but at the top level, he is finished. And also, there is huge pressure on Xavi. He needs to start playing proper football, champagne football like we saw at the beginning of the season, because we won't have at the beginning of the season, there were no captains in the team. We saw all the stats, first time since 2018, no captains in the lineup, all 4 on the bench, and that's when Barcelona was playing well. When we start playing crap, when they all come running back into the team. Put 2 and 2 together. You want to call for Xavi's head, that's fine. I think he deserves criticism. Starting Alonso is a disgrace. No Ansu Fati. I think Frankie de Jong, of course, he was injured, so give him benefit of the doubt on that one. You have to look at the captains as well. Every time they come in the past few years, we crumble. I get it, they love the club, they may love it or not, maybe they have a love-hate relationship, I don't care. They are all finished. We'll wait and see how the rest of the season goes. If you want to take a quick look at the Champions League table, and look, we need a miracle. This, I mean, mathematically it's still possible, but we all know it's over. Inter Milan need 3 points to guarantee their next game, Victoria Pleasant at home. Easiest 3 points they'll ever get in their life. And even if Inter Milan somehow don't beat Victoria Pleasant, we have to beat Bayern Munich at home, which probably isn't likely. And then Bayern Munich will send out their whole entire C team against Inter Milan, and that will be a big opportunity for them. So either way, we're out. We're on toast. I mean, if Inter Milan bottle it, then fair play. To be honest, it's Europa League. We knew without a win, it's Europa League. I kind of wish we lost now. This way that we're guaranteed Europa. We can just move on, but still, with all this hope. I mean, even third place is not guaranteed because Victoria Pleasant still have to face Barcelona and Inter. Will they win? Probably not. But I think I really don't want to go to Europa League, man. I'd rather get fourth than go to Europa. Let me know in the comments what would you rather. Of course, you might think, oh, trophy is a trophy, but money and time wise, for me, it ain't worth it. Like, if the fact that if you win the competition, it won't even equivalent the amount if we qualify in the Champions League. Just as enough. It's a waste of time. Yeah, we'll make ticket sales at the Camp Nou, but in reality, it just isn't worth it. So that was a match analysis / rant for the Barcelona versus Inter Milan match last night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I know firstly is thoughts on Xavi's post-match thoughts, Eric Garcia and Busquets, thoughts about the conversation that we had about captains coming in and out, Europa League. Would you still want to stay in the competition? What are your thoughts on the remaining 2 games in the Champions League? Are you still Xavi in or Xavi out? If you're Xavi out, then you've got major problems. And what do you think is going to happen this weekend for the Clasico? Early thoughts. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. And as always, take care and Forza Barca.